We'd like to welcome you all to the 2024 Kentucky State Fair Swine Show. We'll be beginning today with our novice-aged contestants in our showmanship contest. I'd like to introduce our judge for this week, Mr. Ryan Seitz. Ryan's from Granite, Oklahoma. He's a national support specialist for Show-Right show feeds in the Oklahoma area and surrounding states. For Show-Right, he conducts many feed and showing clinics for both 4-H and FFA exhibitors. Ryan's a graduate of Oklahoma State University. There, he was a member of the 1995 livestock judging team. After graduation, he was in agricultural education instruction in Elgin, Oklahoma for 9 years before taking his current position with Show-Right. Ryan, his wife Wendy, and son Rhett own and operate Seitz Livestock, raising crossbred, Duroc, and Chester show pigs. Ryan has judged many state shows across the country, including San Antonio, California, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Dallas State Fair, New York, Kansas, Iowa, Wisconsin, Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas, California, and now Kentucky. He's also judged the World Pork Expo, the NJSA Junior Summer Spectacular, Cow Palace, the Arizona National, and the American Royal. If you're around ringside, let's go ahead and put our hands together for our judge this week, Mr. Ryan Seitz. Class 2 showmanship, 7-year-olds, age in 2016. This is your first call to make your way to the makeup ring, please. 2016-year-old, you need to make your way to the makeup ring.
Well, first of all, it's definitely a privilege to have the opportunity to be here the next few days to work with your young people and evaluate your hog show. A tremendous way to start out. Really commend the people behind the novice program here and allowing these kids to get out here and not only to have showmanship, but also have a show here in a little bit for these younger ones because it just kind of enhances their ability to get awfully good later on as they get older. So we got a couple of them pinned as we work through these heats, so we'll get saved back to go to our finals. You know, when we get into this age group right here, little things like trying to keep that hog between you and the judge, a little bit of eye contact and things is kind of what sorted a couple of them that we're going to bring back for our finals. But again, great program, great set of young people. Give all these kids a big round of applause. We let them go back.
Class 2, 7-year-old showman, you need to be in the makeup ring immediately. Class 2, 7-year-old showman, born in 2016, you need to be in the makeup ring immediately. Congratulations to our two coming back from Class 1, Benton Mann and Kaylee Florence. Entering the ring now is Class 2 7-year-old Showman. These Showmen were born in the year 2016. We need Class 3 8-year-old Showman born in 2015. Make your way to the makeup ring. Class 3 8-year-old Showman born in 2015. Make your way to the makeup ring. We need all 8-year-old Showmen born in 2015. Make your way to the makeup ring. 2015. Make your way to the makeup ring.
Here in our second age group, if you will, or second class that we work through, I think we've got 3 over here that we'll bring back for our finals. And again, not to sound like a broken record, but little things as far as trying to keep that hog in between you and the judge and just having a little more control is maybe what separated the ones that we put in the pens. And yet a lot of that just comes with time and experience as far as they're able to improve on that. So if you would, once again, give these kids a big round of applause as we let them go back.
Paisley Bradley, we need you in the makeup ring immediately. Paisley Bradley. And congratulations, coming back in contention for your champion and reserve overall novice Showman is Owen Gripsover, Ethan Hall, and Jesselyn Conrad. Put your hands together for those 3 kiddos. Entering the ring now is our 8-year-old Showman, born in 2015. Following this heat, we will be selecting your champion and reserve overall novice showman. We will not be taking a break between our champion novice showmanship drive and our first class of novice market hogs. Just another reminder, we will not be taking a break between the selection of our champion and reserve novice showman and our novice market hogs. Reminder to the exhibitors, you need to wear your back tag for the Novice Market Hog Show. Be sure you wear your back tag for the Novice Market Hog Show.
As we get in here to our third age group, again, little things. And I guess as we talk, not to let the older ones know anything special, but first impressions are awfully important. So those 4 or 5 guest steps as you first come in the ring are very important as far as not only being on the correct side of the hog, but having that hog kind of get out and move and go and giving you a real good kind of a look. And I think within this group, that's maybe what sorted a little bit to the 3 that we individuals that we have pinned over there in the pins. And yet this group, no doubt, as far as having some eye contact, trying to keep their hogs going out here in the middle of the ring, has done an exceptional job. If you would, put your hands together for them as we get ready to work our final.
And coming back into contention from our 8-year-old class, Hayden Turner, Whitley Hardesty, and Ava Jackson. Put your hands together for those 3 kiddos. We will now be selecting your champion and reserve overall novice showman here at the 2024 Kentucky State Fair. Let's do first call for Class 1 Novice Market Hogs. First call, Class 1 Novice Market Hogs. And in contention for your reserve and champion overall novice hog showman, we have Benton Mann, Kaylee Florence, Owen Gripsover, Ethan Hall, Jesslyn Conrad, Hayden Turner, Whitley Hardesty, and Ava Jackson. Second call, Class 1, Novice Market Hogs. Make sure you exhibitors wear your back tags.
Awesome, awesome set of young people out here driving and working these hogs extremely good. Before we name your champion in reserve, congratulate each one of these kids for coming back to make your finals. You know, at this age and things, you never know exactly when you get into one of these, you know, their experience level and what you're going to find and what you're going to be looking for. I can tell you, as we come back into this finals, we had to work them. We needed to work them, and yet I don't want to overwork the hogs because there's a great group of showmen out here, and yet just to be honest with you, there's three, and I know that means there's one that's going to get left out, but there's three of them that are just very, very good for their age and for their size, if you will, and being able to have that right control. To me, you get down to those three, and there's a pair of them that I think just kind of handled the correct distance from that judge just a notch better. And I know that's a little bit subjective to who the guy is that's lining up the showmanship and what their pet peeves are and what they like and what they dislike. And yet with that, there's three of them that do a great job. There's two of them that I think handle the distance just a little bit better. And then to me, there's one that just does it so calm, so easy, so smooth, and just kind of gets out and handles it exceptionally well. Your champion in this division, hug that young man with the blue one. Your reserve in this division is, a flat killer kind of a showman, and I love just a little bit of the extra aggressiveness that they have. Every once in a while when we'd kind of tighten things up, maybe come through, and it wasn't quite as smooth maybe as what our champion did. The other one that does just a phenomenal job, this young lady with this white belt, and will be your reserve. Again, congratulations to all these kids. They got a bright future ahead of them.
And your champion overall novice showman for the 2024 Kentucky State Fair is Mr. Ethan Hall. In reserve is Whitley Hardesty. Folks, put your hands together for those two exhibitors. Entering the ring now is Class 1 Novice Market Hogs. Judge, these hogs weigh between 220 and 239 pounds. We need Class 2 Novice Market Hogs. Make your way to the makeup ring. Class 2 Novice Market Hogs. Make your way to the makeup ring. If you have family at home that would like to tune in, Show Barn Flicks is ringside, displaying and live streaming our shows today. So if you have friends or family at home that would like to tune in and can't be here with us, be sure to point them to Show Barn Flicks to tune in and watch their loved ones show. We need Class 2 Market Hogs in the makeup ring immediately. Class 2 Novice Market Hogs. Benton Manning, we need you in the makeup ring, please. Benton Manning.
Good class to start our show off. The belted hog here closest to me is going to start the class. This one, and just in terms of one, is so big and powerful right in the middle part of his back, and yet it has opened up so much in his rib, like the overall muscle dimension that one has. You know, ideally, I could change that one just a little on a right hind leg, and yet he still stays comfortable in terms of his length of stride on either end of his skeleton. Comes at you good and bold through his chest. Got a big blade and a big forearm in him. Nice hog to here to win this class. This white belted one is going to be second, and I mean, you change this one or take him from his hock up and forward, I like a lot of things about him. This one, in terms of having some muscle dimension, some muscle shape, heavy bone, big-footed kind of a barrel, I just got to get him out here and go differently, particularly off that left hind leg. If we could loosen him out of his hip, flex him just a hair differently in terms of the way he gets out and goes, makes that pair awfully, awfully close. Nice pair up here in the top end. The young lady speckled one that comes in third here. Lots of muscle shape, lots of power in this one. Of the top trio, I thought she kind of played out just a little bit in terms of her bone bone and foot size and feature, if you will. If we could just stouten her up in terms of her bone and foot, stouten her up about her jaw, we can move her up in class. That's a nice gilt there to be landed in third. Super attractive one that comes out next, tall-shouldered, extended fronted, gets just a little flatter in terms of her overall makeup, a little flatter about her blade, a little flatter about her rib design. If we could just bulk her up in the center part of her body, open her up as she comes right to you in terms of her chest width, we can make her case to move up the line a little bit further. As it is, love the pattern in her. We just got to widen her all the way through in order to make her to move her up any higher. Stout, muscular one that comes out next. Love the power, love the dimension in this one. Just maybe one that gets a little shorter, a little crestier about her neck than maybe what you'd term ideal. She gets right there in her ham-long junction. She gets a little more pinched than what I'd prefer. If we could smooth her up there, change how she goes off of her right hind leg, we could move her up in class. Lots of muscle, lots of power in that one. You have to admire for that. Good pattern one that comes out next. Heavy bone, big-footed one. Thought the longer the drive wears on, this one gets a little straighter, a little more upright in her shoulder than maybe what you'd term ideal. She too's one we could loosen off of her hind leg just a little, flex her out of her hind leg a hair differently in order to move her up. And we come out with the young man spotted hog that comes next, tall-shouldered, good pattern one from the side in this class. Just one that needs more muscle all the way through, widen him out, give him more overall power and dimension. Maybe we could just change him just a little right there in his throat line, clean him up just a hair there. Good class here. Let's congratulate those exhibitors.
And placings in Class 1, Novice Market Hogs. First went to Everett Trendcamp. Second, Owen Gripsover. Third, Alexa Becraft. Fourth, Adeline Jackson. Fifth, Paisley Bradley. Sixth, Taylon Riley. Seventh, Tripway. Congratulations. Entering the ring now was Class 2 Novice Market Hogs. 7 entries judge weighing between 242 and 259 pounds. We need Class 3 Novice Market Hogs. Go ahead and make your way to the makeup ring. Class 3 Novice Market Hogs. This is just a reminder to all Novice Market Hog exhibitors. Be sure you're wearing your back tags whenever you come up to the makeup ring. We need you to wear your back tags when you come to the makeup ring. We need Easton Moore and Whitley Hardesty. Please make your way to the makeup ring for Class 3.
Good class, intriguing class. No, they don't look anything alike, and I'm okay with that when we get up here in the top end. And I think it kind of depends on where you want to land and where you want to put your priorities and things. And because to me, there's one out here that is just a little more unique, a little different in terms of the way they're put together and the way they're built. Is she ideal? No, she's not. There's an area or two I'd like to change her. We're going to start with a little guy with the cowboy hat. That one's going to start the class. You talk about a stout skull, heavy bone, big footed. Love that thing in that regard. This one looks like one you'd kind of like to have out there on the south floor and see what you could do with her, because she's got some unique pieces, some interesting things in that regard. Now, with that, is she the boldest in the center part of her rib? No, she's not. I'd love to open her up in the middle part of her body and just give her a little more round outside turn to her rib. But that skull and bone and design and pattern that she has from the outside, awfully good. And she still stays sound, flexible enough in terms of her feet and leg movement. Nice kind of individual here to start the class. The belted gilt's going to be second out there. Another one that you probably like the center body of that one in terms of her depth of body and flank, and really soft in the middle part of her body. Get down at the ground, and she wants to play out just a little bit in terms of her bone and foot size and feature. She too's one that maybe when we get right into her, we could bolden her up, open her up in the center part of her rib. Love the depth of body and flank that she has. We could just open her up and give her more spring to the middle part of her rib to move her up any higher. The white one we have coming in 3, very intriguing individual in her own right. Another one that you like in terms of her front leg bone. She's stout, she's powerful, she's muscular, and yet the longer the drive wears on, maybe one doesn't want to get out and go quite as comfortably, particularly off that right hind leg. If we could just lengthen her hip, allow her to flex her hock just a hair differently, particularly on that right side, we could possibly move her up, because that's a good pattern one, the one that's got some body and some flank, some productive look about her. Belted gilt that comes out next. A tall shoulder, long body, really extended kind of an individual. She's sound and functional in terms of her movement. She comes right at you. He wants to close just a little more right there at his knee than maybe what you'd term ideal. He too's another one that we could just change just a little out of his rump and out of his hind leg. You have him get out and go just a hair easier in terms of his overall movement. Love the pattern in that one. We just need to change him off of his hind two, open him up in the center part of his body, and open him up through his chest width in order to move up. Stout muscular when it comes up next in terms of back shape and top shape. Get down at the ground. We just got to open him up, widen him out in the lower part of his skeleton in order to move him up any higher. And as we come down through here, the young lady's white when it comes out next, very productive kind of a barrel, softs in the middle part of his body. Like that about him exceptionally well. He's another one that maybe you could just make him a little different in terms of his pattern from the side, raise him up at the point of his shoulder, make him a little more extended up through his front end. And the next one that comes out, all kinds of muscle and shape. When you get up on top of this one, just gets a little more tubular through the middle part of her body than maybe what I'd prefer. Like to soften her over a rib, drop more flank in her. Good class here, great set of young people. Let's give them a round of applause.
And placings in Class 2, Novice Market Hogs. First, Kaiser Sutton. Second, Blaine Ellis. Third, Kagan Kaufman. Fourth, Benton Mann. Fifth, Tara Baker. Sixth, Jesselyn Conrad. Seventh, Kaylee Florence. Congratulations. Entering the ring now, Judge. 5 entries in Class 3. These hogs weigh between 261 and 271 pounds. We need Class 4 Market Hogs to make your way to the makeup ring. Class 4 Market Hogs, make your way to the makeup ring.
We get here in this next class, and I think it's a very good class, and yet with that, that belted one wins and wins so quite easily for me. One that I think just combines a tremendous amount of good, not only from a pattern standpoint, but combines that with some shape and expression of muscle, upper part of her skeleton. You know, is she the biggest legged thing in the world? Maybe not, but at the same time, it matches her, and she's good in terms of her design, her shape, her balance, good kind of muscle shape in now. What nice individual there to start the class. So the little guy with the red gilt's going to be second here today. This was a very intriguing kind of a red female when you talk about one that's huge in terms of her bone and foot size and stout about her skull. You like that about her exceptionally well. Doesn't disappoint you in terms of the overall muscle dimension. She's not as opened up in the center part of her rib as that gilt that wins the class. She wants to deviate just a little right there in her ham-loin junction. If we could just open her up in the center part of her body, smooth her up right there in her ham-loin junction, I think it could make that pair just a little bit closer. The young lady with the other Duroc gilt's going to be, or Barra is going to be third here today. Tall-shouldered, extended fronted one. Like that about him exceptionally well. He's got a great pattern from the side, and yet as you get into him, he doesn't open up in the middle part of his body. He's not quite as powerful as those two that have preceded him in class. He comes right at you. He wants to close up just a little more right there at his knee than maybe what you'd term ideal. If we could just widen him out in the lower part of his skeleton, open him up in the center part of his rib, we could move him up. Little guy here with the white gilt's going to be next. All kinds of muscle in this one, and he's to be commended for that. That's a powerful, powerful gilt when you talk about just muscle dimension and muscle power. I like to soften her in the middle part of her body. The longer the drive wears on, she gets a little more stilty out of her hind leg. Doesn't want to flex and go quite as comfortably as some of those hogs up ahead of her. If we could just loosen her up in terms of her structure, soften her in the middle part of her body, we could move her up. And the spot that we have down here in 5, really good pattern kind of an individual. Comes at you good in terms of the width he has to his chest floor. You get up on top of him. He just doesn't have quite the spread and dimension as some of those hogs up ahead of him in class. Still yet, good kind of an individual, one you like to feature in. Great class here. Let's congratulate those exhibitors.
Placings in Class 3, Novice Market Hogs. First went to Whitley Hardesty. Second, Easton Moore. Third, Sadie Hogan. Fourth, Davis Conrad. And fifth, Jacob Hogan. Congratulations. Entering the ring now, judges, Class 4, 4 entries. These hogs weigh between 273 and 280 pounds. We need Class 5 Market Hogs. Make your way to the makeup ring. Class 5 Novice Market Hogs. Make your way to the makeup ring. We then need all first and second place Novice Market Hogs to think about making your way to the makeup ring. We will be taking a break between our Novice Market Hog show and our Breeding Gilt show. Our Breeding Gilt show will start promptly at 4 o'clock. All Breeding Gilt classes are posted. Breeding Gilt classes are posted. If you have any changes, please come to the announcer stand. Breeding Gilt classes are posted. We will start that show promptly at 4 o'clock.
Just 4 here in this class, and yet a very good class. The white belted one is the one we're going to start the class with. heavy bone, big-footed kind of a barrow. You love the all just stoutness of feature and stoutness of skull, and he combines that with great kind of muscle shape as you get up on top and moan behind him. You know, ideally, I'd love to bring his right hind leg just a little more inside, and yet at the same time, he's the one within this class that really puts the most positives together in terms of just balance and proportion and overall muscle shape and power. Nice individual here to win the class. The young lady's belted hog is going to be second here. Another one. It's a tall shoulder, really extended fronter, kind of a female, heavy bone and big footed. You get into her and she gets a little flatter about her blade, a little flatter about her rib design than maybe you'd like. If we can just open her up and bolt her up in the middle part of her body, we can make that pair maybe somewhat a little bit closer. The Berkshire Gilt's going to be second or third, and she's going to be the one that just in terms of soundness and mobility is what gets this one in this hole. She's extended amongst her front end, good kind of overall power in that one, and yet can just flat out get out and go. So much more comfortable than the one we're going to have in 5. Very well presented one, that comes in 4. Love the shape, love the power in that one. Our little guy, we just got to get him out and get him go just a little easier, a little more comfortable in order to move him up. Fun class to work through. Let's congratulate them.
And placings in Class 4, Novice Market Hogs. First was Dylan Franklin. Second, Ansley Price. Third, Corinthian Shoemaker. And fourth, Walter Glassmeyer. Congratulations. Entering the ring now, Judge Class 5, 6 entries. These hogs weigh 285 pounds. We need all first and second place Novice Market Hogs. Make your way to the makeup ring. All first and second place Novice Market Hogs. Make your way to the makeup ring.
fun class to work through, and I think there's each one of them have got some things that you absolutely love about them, and yet maybe just a little bitty nitpicky thing that maybe you could change. And yet with that, I think there's one that just brings the most to the table in terms of one. And I don't care if you're talking about stoutness of skull and bone and foot, but you get up on top of this one and study how he comes right out of the backside of his blade, the shape and power right behind. Just an awfully good kind of an individual, and that's that blue-headed one here. That one's going to win the class. Tremendous individual, as I said, each one of them's got one little thing or two, and I'm an old school dad, and I'd love to take that one outside and just see if I could fire him up just a hair faster, but other than that, that one's awfully good. Second and third is where it gets awfully close to me, because there's one that's better going away, and there's one that's better when they come right to you. And so when you step off to the side and you just kind of study in terms of the one that follows the most, in terms of just a little bit of stouter kind of a skull, a little stouter kind of a bone and foot size, still yet stays comfortable, I like the red one to go in second here. Just an awfully good kind of an individual. As I said, that one right there, when she goes away, I'd love to square her just a little. She wants to bring her hock a little more inside than maybe what I'd prefer, and yet she's got a big kind of a hip in her, lots of power as you get back behind her, and she is better, she's wider, she's truer than the one that we're going to have in third, which is the blue rumped one over here to my right. This one, in terms of just having a great kind of a pattern from the side, still gets out and goes awfully comfortable. He handles his hind leg in terms of his width from his hock to his foot. He's better than the one in second in that regard, and yet when he comes right to you, he wants to close a little more through the base of his chest floor than maybe what I'd prefer. Like to change that one in that regard. The sock-footed one's going to come next, and I guarantee you this one had a beautiful day at one time, because this one's stout, this one's powerful, this one's shapely. She's just wanting to lumber a little more up through her front end than maybe what I'd prefer. If we could get that one and just grab a different kind of a gear and be more comfortable up through her front end, we could definitely move her up in class, because she's got lots and lots of intriguing pieces in that one. Just got to see her a little more comfortable in order to move up. Young lady coming across the middle with the belted bearers next. Tall-shouldered, extended fronted one. Like to stouten that one just a little about his skull and stouten him in his bone and foot size, and yet good kind of muscle shape, good kind of power in that one. Young lady's got a stout, muscular one here. Once again, wants to twist more out of her hip and out of her hind leg than maybe what I'd prefer. Like to just lengthen her hip, allow her to take that hock and kick it out behind her just a little more aggressively than what she does. Fun class here. Great setup here in the top end. Let's congratulate them.
Placings in Class 5, Novice Market Hogs. First was Woods Wonderlick. Second, Ava Jackson. Third, Ethan Hall. Fourth, Parker Compton. Fifth, Hayden Turner. Sixth, Sadie Bradley. Congratulations. We will now be selecting your champion and reserve champion Novice Market Hogs. We'll have those second place hogs on standby. From Class 1, we have Everett Trenkamp. Put your hands together for him, please. Everett Trenkamp. From Class 2, Kaiser Sutton. From Class 3, Whitley Hardesty. From Class 4, Dylan Franklin. And from Class 5, Woods Wonderlick. Folks, put your hands together for these kiddos.
Bring our class winners back out here, and you know, it wasn't a great big kind of a hog show here in our novice deal, and yet look at the quality in the ring. The quality in the ring is a testament to you parents and breeders and feeders and all that for these young people. This is a great set of pigs. If you would, congratulate these kids out here in the ring. We're bringing these class winners back, and I guess to me, you know, they're hogs that have got the right kind of quality and the things that you're looking for, and yet at the end of the day, I guess there's one that whether you just want to say there's a bigger bear out here, I don't know what you want to say, but this one in terms of bone, foot, stoutness, the way he comes out of the back of his side of his blade, tremendous individual. That blue-headed one's your champion.
And your grand champion, Novice Market Hog at the 2024 Kentucky State Fair goes to Woods Wonderlick. Congratulations. That'll drop Ava Jackson in contention for reserve.
Second in that class comes in, as we talked to her earlier, an awfully good individual. Love this one, skull and bone and foot size. And we talked about her, you know, we'd like to change just a little how she goes out of her hind leg in terms of where she puts her hock placement on these chips. To me, there was another one as we worked through those classes that I'll just be honest with you, hit me like a ton of bricks. This one in terms of just putting so many things together is so very good. Balanced, shapely, muscular. I commented, I like to stouten that one up just a little bit in her bone, but at the same time, tremendous individual. The white belted one will be a reserve.
And your reserve grand champion Novice Market Hog comes from Class 3. That's Whitley Hardesty. Put your hands together for Whitley. Be sure to join us at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, we will be starting our gilt show. 4 o'clock. So it'll be about an hour from now.